Well, hello guys. Welcome back to the channel where the motto is I didn't learn a damn thing. Even though I almost choked to death, I was looking at Wadruna tickets just before now. They're going to have that virtual White Raven concert, and the tickets aren't a ton. They're like 33 bucks, which, for a concert ticket, I'm like, I want to go, but then of course what I really want is the t-shirt and all that other stuff. So, yeah. And I'm like, what if I don't like it though, for attending a concert? That's always a thing in the back of your head. But I'm like, virtual concert. So I don't know. You can get your tickets now. They're not paying me to say this, trust me, or get them after the event. One of the nice things with virtual concerts is you can attend a couple days after the concert, which is nice. At least if you ask me, it is. But if you bought ahead of time, you would be able to watch the concert unlimited up until like a certain amount of time. I don't know. I probably won't go, but it is tempting. And, it felt like International House of Awesome came back really strong because, all the gods, obviously, you've had a contact with. Believe me, if you stop breathing, they notice. They notice and they're all like coming in. And we're trying to figure stuff out. I've been trying to make a video for you guys, and I said, I realize Odin is my kryptonite. I realize that no matter how many times things go wrong, and even though I stop breathing on his watch, I kind of like came back to life, and I said, um, I realize I've had an awful lot of close calls under Odin's guidance. Anytime it's been Odin, like that car that hit me recently, and that sketchy guy in the park, and cars have nearly damn well run me over, and people trying to pick me up in cars. I said I notice I have an uptick in stuff like that when Odin's around, and the others have, they know he will always be my kryptonite, and I'll always be sad if he's not here. But they're like, he's no damn good for you. Can't you see this? You love him, but damn girl, you almost choked to death from lipstick. So and he kills by asphyxiation. Sacrifices. In the old days, don't do that to yourself now or anyone else. But the fact that he kills by asphyxiation, that's how he claims his victims. And I stopped breathing after I put makeup on. Yeah, he's on the short list of many a god because they're like, Jesus Christ. And quite honestly, knowing the old man, I think 99.9% of the stories are still rumors, but in the back of my head, I'm equally no, Odin wouldn't actually try to kill me, and come to think of it, he probably would. So I don't know, and I'm like, what the hell kind of death-worthy Valhalla would be stopping breathing after I put lipstick on? What the hell kind of story would I have to tell these mighty Viking warriors? I died in an epic battle. What happened to you? I put on lipstick and I went into anaphylactic shock and I fell over dead. Oh, so what the hell kind of, what are there, like 9,000 people up there that, yeah, I didn't know I was allergic to shrimp, damnedest thing. So, I'm getting cheers and giggles back here. Allergies are nothing to make fun of, but now that I'm still alive, it is kind of funny. Can you imagine a whole bunch of people up there that died from the same thing as me, putting on lipstick, and like, be like, yeah, we're the people that put on lipstick and died. What are you gonna do? So, it's sad if someone does pass away like that, but when you have ducked the bullet yourself, you're like, I almost died, so you're just happy to be alive. And believe me, COVID has put stuff into perspective. I thought, people that have COVID and survived would be motherfucking happy if the only thing they had to do was throw out makeup, and we threw out all my makeup. We threw out a fuck ton of nail polish. I mean a fuck ton, guys. Two adult women collecting nail polish forever, a fuck ton, like a nail salon's worth of nail polish went out. That shit's so heavy, somebody's probably gonna try to lift it and throw it in the truck and die, but I am a strong, husky woman. And giggles and cheers back here. And throughout those fucking wax melts and a whole bunch of other stuff, and we cleaned stuff out of the cupboard, and it was uncanny the music that started playing while Loki was having me do this, because Head Over Heels came on, and I'm holding this bag of paints that they turned a while ago, but I'm still thinking, can I use them outside for something? And throw it away, throw it away. Came off in the lyrics, so I'm like, okay. He's like, get that goddamn stuff out of my house here. So, we threw it all away. And I will have a headache for a while because that excited everything. So I did take something for the headache, but I put some peppermint oil and some Vicks on, and I made a little rub. So I am breathing a lot easier. But then, if she comes back, I might work with Freya on that. I have an idea that I don't know, because the Norse gods big themselves up so much, and that happened on their watch. They now have no room to tell any other group of gods that they're not good at taking care of me. At least I haven't died on anybody else's watch. I got, yeah. And it's one of those things where I think they're going to have to admit that, they're all pretty much equal in power. And remember, Asmodeus is the law, and Asmodeus came in and he's turging up and down and saying, that is extortion to say that he could only heal you if he had a Norse only household. He said, that is bullshit. He said, if one of our kind, wants to heal someone, we heal you. We don't. Yeah, sometimes they're less than honorable about it. True, he's not going to pretend they're perfect, but he said, that's bullshit for him to tell you he can only heal you in a Norse-only household. And he said, that's just like the church saying that Jesus will only heal you if you only go to church and you never worship any other gods. And he's getting, steamed up. And he's angry, and all the others are angry too. And of course, every death god I knew certainly knew when I just about checked out, and they all showed up, and they're all like, what the hell's going on now? And I told them, and Asmodeus is the one that's the most furious. I think Hades is too, but Hades gets a spooky quiet. And Asmodeus says, doesn't it occur to you as strange? Or was it, no, it was actually Hades that pointed out, he said, isn't it strange how you almost die every time you work with him? I said, no, come on, man. I was just, you're right. And, it's one of those things you have to think about. Most death gods are completely safe. You could leave a baby with Hades. You could leave a baby with Lasanta. They love the little babies. At least Lasanta does. I don't think Hades would be thrilled, but he wouldn't harm the child either. Um, Lasanta loves babies. The Baron loves children. He adores children. You could leave babies with him. He will watch over them. Odin? Odin's a mixed bag of a god. And, I don't, like I said, I think I said it earlier this attempt, I don't believe most of the horseshit stories about, yeah, if you serve the old man, you're guaranteed to die. But I do think it's interesting you have an uptick of experiences like that when you serve him. So I looked at Loki and I said, I don't know if I completely trust your brother at this point. And he said, he does kill by asphyxiation. And I said, yeah, it's kind of odd, isn't it? All the close calls of my life have been from asphyxiation. There was the fire in college, there was the time my furnace cracked, there have been reactions I've had to stuff. I said, that's kind of odd, don't you think? Don't you think? There was one time I got hit by a car. Okay, I was in a couple car accidents too. I haven't lived a charmed life. I guess I have though. I walked away every time. Um, you know, um, it's one of those things, and I've definitely clocked out before and came back, but I'm gonna run out of lives here is what I'm gonna do. I might be down to my last one, so I gotta stop fooling around. So, it's something to think about. The gods are reassuring me that I don't have to wear makeup or perfume or anything else. And gotta remember, for the vast length of human history, our ancestors of all genders did not wear makeup because it just didn't happen. Maybe they had a little berry stain to put on the lips. Maybe they had like a little color, natural color from nature. But that was something natural that they put on. And if it made them sick, they didn't do it again. They were smarter than we are. And, getting cheers back there. It's fairly recent in the time of span that our species has been alive that we decided to start putting makeup and everything on ourselves and start dyeing our hair. I mean, yeah, you could go back a long time and find it back to Egyptian days and that, but technically speaking, we were a more self-assured species at one time. We didn't need to do stuff like that. Maybe we always did, I don't know, but I haven't seen a species of ape yet that does it, so we might not be the smart one. Maybe the not so smart ape evolved. I sometimes wonder. I got, yep, back here. Thank you, dear. Anytime. 1 second, guys. These allergies. So, that's good. And, I had gone on to ex-Christian Reddit, and I really shouldn't. It's nothing bad about it. If you're on there all the time, you're getting something out of it good, but they have a tendency to kick a god when he's down. I'm like, my problem isn't with Jesus. It's with the church and what they teach. It's with how a lot of Christians act. Not every single Christian is like that. Of course they're not. And it's really tempting to, paint everybody with the same brush. And I thought, really, in a lot of ways, these people are being no better than the Christians. Believe me, I get the rage. I was raised Roman Catholic. I get being pissed off beyond belief at what the Pope says or whatever other general craziness any of these churches has going on. But, you either grow up to the point where you realize they're going to be like that to the end of time and be hypocrites to the end of time, or you keep letting it bother you. I realize that's how they are, and they don't want to change. They don't see they have a problem, and the rest of us screaming at them, yes, you do, is just going to make them double down. I'm like, fine, let them do it. They'll crash into a wall and they'll burn. Then they'll learn, once they get hurt bad enough, then they'll learn. It's like once I had a reaction bad enough, that's when I learned, and we threw all the stuff out of the house. And it just seems like they'll never let it go. And they're particularly picking on Jesus. I'm like, whether you believe he existed or not, they love to go in the Bible because he sounds bipolar in the Bible. Like he's the God of love. No, he sounds bipolar in the Bible. One day he loves everybody and he's here for peace and light. And the next day he's telling you to get a sword and kill people. Who knows? Maybe he's crazy. And, I'm like, well, that's because this is all cobbled together. It wasn't one endless narrative. And Jesus never said actually any of this, ever. It was written many years after he died. These people didn't have that good of memory. They had writing systems. So, nobody knew what he actually said. But I said, what we do get is that he was a teacher who we think wanted peace. We don't know. He believed in his sacrifice. So whether you believe he was a misguided teacher or you believe that he was a divinity or whatever you believe, I'm like, stop kicking this guy when he's down. His church has had it bad enough. It made me feel compassion. So, and I felt for the other gods too, because the other gods are coming forward. Little Bastet's ears were flat on her head, and she looked horrified. I know she was blaming herself because decades ago, my body was different. My body chemistry was different. I could have shellacked on makeup. I could have dyed my hair. I could have done my nails. I would have been fine. I can't do it anymore. My body's just changing. So, they might be changing stuff. Maybe when they started taking the formaldehyde out of everything, my immunity wore off. I don't know. But, I do know, come to think of it, those of us that like to get our hair permed and all the other crazy stuff we do. Remember how sick you got? And that goes for all genders. Like you get a perm, you used to get a perm and get deathly ill or get your nails done and leave the nail salon with a splitting headache. Don't do that to yourself. I know you won't listen. I didn't listen for years either. It's just the price of beauty. Yeah. You don't see guys doing it, do you? Do you see straight, cisgendered guys doing it most of the time? No, you don't, because they're not going to suffer for beauty. They're perfectly good the way they are. So, they're not going to suffer like the rest of us do. And look, he's like, you actually have a point. I'm like, hell yeah, I have a point. Can you imagine telling some guy he's not going to look beautiful unless he paints his nails with something that's going to make him sick to his stomach or give him a migraine? No man would do that. They might do other crazy stuff, but they're not going to do that, and they're not going to go sit in a nail salon or a hair salon and get deathly ill from the fumes either. It's something about those of us that like to ornament our body of all genders that we're just a little bit suicidal, I suppose. So, I hope you guys are having a good one. I'm feeling better. The attack's over. I'm gonna take it easy. If I would light a candle today, and thanks, it would be an unscented candle, and I will be very careful. No, anything else today, but it was one of those things. I really don't think Odin was trying anything. I think it was just dumb luck. But then again, it is Odin. And because of the way people treat him and talk about him, I always do have a little tiny grain of doubt in the back of my head. And this is funny because we always go for making a connect and best buddies for life, and then it's like the next day it's he realizes he's no good for me, or I realize it and we're apart. So now I have a wolf coming. And I had ordered a wolf because I keep my promises. I said, well, what the hell am I going to do now? It's too late. They shipped it. And one of the other gods had implied that go ahead and keep the wolf because it's going to be, I know more than one god and I'm going to always love wolves. It's not going to change if I don't work with the old man. So I think they're keeping him to keep his distance right now. And they're all like, you had an attack and that's serious. So I don't know what I'm going to do today. I don't know what I'm going to do for dinner or what. It's cold and it's wet and rainy outside, so I'm not going anywhere to pick anything up. I don't know. Do something. But, we hope you guys are having a good one. I hope that made some sense, but, we got everything out of the house. There's a teeny, beanie, and I mean a teeny bit left in one tiny area, and there's a little bit in a second area, but that is truly it. The vast majority is gone, and if I keep having problems, we'll get that out of the house too. So if you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.